Hello, and welcome to this Digitech Systems Series event where we will be introducing you to CASO Document Management. The CASO team will be providing a full demonstration of the DocuSign integration with our Digitech products. My name is Tanya Peterson, and I'm the sales support at Digitech Systems. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Richard Tamaro and Wayne D. Hart with CASO Document Management.
Hello, how you doing? Richard Tamaro here. I'm going to do a discussion around the PowerPoint, and then Wayne D. Hart and I will both be doing a demonstration. So PaperVision Enterprise, as you know, can receive records in multiple different ways. They can even actually go directly out of DocuSign without a tickler. Or the demonstration today is going to be focusing on the workflow. When the records are being routed through, we can set it up so that the document can leave PVE, go out to DocuSign, be routed to the signer or signers through the established workflow in DocuSign, be completed, and then come back inside of workflow / PaperVision Enterprise. I will show you how that works very shortly. The way we do that is with our DocuSign processor, which is a Microsoft Windows service. It monitors the many Digitech PVE projects. What it does, it will create and submit out an envelope to DocuSign. For those who have not worked with DocuSign, an envelope can have one-to-many records inside there, and envelopes is actually how DocuSign tracks and charges. You can have 7 documents in one envelope or just one. Upon completion, the processor will pull it back in. It will replace the version inside of PVE, and the workflow can continue. While it's out with DocuSign, our DocuSign processor will monitor DocuSign, waiting and looking for that envelope to be finished so we can pull it back inside the system. What you'll see, and as we did the demo, is that there's going to be certain fields that are configurable. We have the ability to set it up so that the workflow user can choose a template which will identify where the signatures should occur, add in information such as the subject or the body of the email, and get it sent out directly from the workflow task. They won't need to leave the workflow system to send out records to be signed. A visual of what that looks like, while it's in PVE, you'll hit send, it goes to our processor, and then we send it over to DocuSign. From DocuSign, it sends it out to one or many different users to be signed. Once it gets signed, it's up inside DocuSign, and then we pull it back into our processor, and we stick it inside of Digitech. This section right here is a template. As I talked about, you do have the ability for preset templates to be set up so that the records are established on where people should be signing. So with that, let's start the demonstration. Wayne, I'll move this over to you for you to start showing your screen.
Okay.
So you all know what the beautiful workflow screen looks like here. It has the image inside of it with your index values. You get to choose your workflow task, and you also can do your indexing. Over on the left-hand side, where Wayne is the indexing. I talked before about the ability to choose who it's going to go to and what information you want established inside there. So Wayne can add his email address. He can add 7 or 8 other people on who it's going to get routed to. It'll be routed in the order of emails that you add inside the index values. The status is what is the workflow under right now. And then the DocuSign template is you have a choice there. These are pre-established templates, and what they're going to do is identify when it gets sent out to DocuSign where the signature should go. You do have the capability of sending these out without a pre-established template, and DocuSign gives the end users the ability to add the signatures on the form where they think is appropriate. If you can make the index a little bit bigger, Wayne, for a second. Just want to show the other couple of fields. Yeah, so you can see DocuSign T, DocuSign S. Great. So the DocuSign subject, body, and envelope. The subject is what you want to show when the people are receiving their emails via DocuSign. The subject will be what's inside of those emails to help guide them with instructions about completing the form. And then the envelope is more informational purposes, so that if people need to track what was sent out, which envelope was assigned, that's part of the index values inside of PVE. So now, from workflow, you're able to send it out, solicit for signatures, and send it out for DocuSign. Once that is done, the end user will receive an email that looks something like this. Very good, Wayne, that's fast. We get the review documents. Wayne's going to open it up, and I'm pretty sure all of you have filled out DocuSign forms before. You go through, you'll sign it. After it's signed, it'll be sent either to another person or be queued up to receive back into PaperVision Enterprise. Now we'll go back to our workflow. So either in that queue or the next queue, the users will see now the form with the signature and dates in there. You'll see that it will stamp the envelope ID. You'll see the history, which is nice to see when it was sent out, along with the DocuSign as being part of the history section. Once this is completed, it'll just travel through. The DocuSign signature will stay with your record inside a PV, and you can complete that. The fact that, like I said, Wayne chose the template allowed it to determine that the signature was going to go on that section ahead of time. But if there was no template selected, then the end users would be able to identify where they want the signatures to go. Let's take a second here and let's step back to look at the DocuSign software and just give you a feeling of the admin side of how that works and how they have signatures there. Wayne brings up his first template, and it's just drag and drop. They have the widgets over on the left-hand side, and you start creating your template and identifying the information that you want. Sometimes you've seen that where you had to put signatures on pages, or you had to put initials on pages. So the widgets will guide the end users to complete that information. It's very straightforward in that regards. The DocuSign has been doing this for a long time. They have a strong administration module that provides the ability to create that. Also, they do have reports inside there. They have history and tracking. And I do have a few other questions that came about. Let's take a look at a few of those. Cool solution, thank you. Question though, are DocuSign licenses included in the solution? Good question. DocuSign licenses are not included as part of the solution. Most customers have a set of envelopes that they pre-purchased, though CASO is a partner with DocuSign, and we can include the solutions. We can include the DocuSign licenses inside the solution if that is desired. A question about the effort to install DocuSign, or actually to install the DocuSign solution. It's relatively quickly. It's for us to do, it's about $750. We'll get that installed up and running for you, which actually reminds me I will be going over the pricing in a few minutes after I just kind of read through some of these questions. If it is image silo, who hosts the solution? So we can host the solution in our Microsoft Azure environment for you, or we can set that up so that you can host the solution also on the image silo side. Question is, what if the user never completes a DocuSign signing? If I understand the question correctly, in workflow, you send it out to solicit a signature, and it goes out to the end users to sign it, maybe 2 or 3 of them, and only 2 sign it, the third one does it. That's a good question. Inside your workflow, you'll just see that as an open task. Now, we may decide that as a workflow builder that you're going to put a timer in there, that if you don't receive the response back after 7 days or 2 days, action needs to be taken. You can also go look inside the DocuSign administration module to see who signed it or where it's stuck. You may eventually decide just to kill the workflow because you can't contact the other party, or after finally identifying and getting a person to sign and send it back, then the workflow is completed. I do like those questions, thank you. I'm going to show you a bit of the pricing, so hold on while I switch it over on my side. Pricing. We're doing it based on users, concurrent, and we have a math formula for image silo. So here's a subscription. 40% margin goes to the partners. If you have less than 15 PVE concurrent users, it's $1,500 or recommended retail annually. So a subscription. and you'll see the pricing goes on. And if you're really lucky enough to have more than 500 concurrent users, let's talk about that. If you have image silo users, what we do is we multiply them by 3 to equal what the PVE would be. So if you have 30 image silo users, that would be counted as 10 PVE users, and your pricing would be $1,500 annually. Like I said, as I discussed, CASO can host a solution for you, and we can also provide the DocuSign licenses. There is a very good-looking man on the screen. If you want to call and talk to him, here's his phone number and email address. Like I said, I've talked to a bunch of you already in the past, have good relationships. We hope to have more conversations with you and to continue building our relationships also. Okay, here's a few questions. Hold on. Can DocuSign also be used within PVE forms? Good question. So that is on our roadmap next to start doing the PVE forms with DocuSign. We wanted to get this out basically on this part, but we have an answer. The first answer is yes. The PVE forms gets completed and goes into PVE, and from there it becomes part of the same process of workflow. We are also reviewing it about if we want to do the PVE form right to DocuSign and not go into image silo workflow. We don't think there is an advantage, but we are weighing out those scenarios. But right now, if you had your end user submit a PVE form into image silo, we'd come in, we'd convert it over to a PDF, and from there we can send it out. I am working with the team on pricing and what that model looks like. That's why it's on the roadmap, but it's really close. So more to come on that. Thank you. There was just a question about pricing. The pricing is the same if it is for PVE or for image silo. It's just going to be how you count the users. So if it's enterprise installed, it's going to be concurrent users on the PVE. And if it's a silo, 10 PVEs will be counted as 30 users. Or should I say 30 image silo users would fall into bucket of 10. The bucket of 10 is 1,500 annually. If you have any other questions, though, just shoot me off an email or give me a phone call. And we do appreciate your time today. And of course, we very much value our relationship with Digitech. And thank you for letting us present today. All right, everybody, have a good and safe day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Richard and Wayne. This DocuSign integration truly shows how our Digitech product suite is one of the most comprehensive offers you can provide to your customers. Should you have any additional questions, please reach out to Richard tomorrow at CASO Document Management. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for joining us.